that happened across the street from the Stewarts here at 485 Delaware Avenue. And the person that was shot was in a car with someone else. There was some words were exchanged with some other person at that location. This disagreement escalated, as we've seen, and many other incidents of violence in our city. And the person that was on foot started firing shots at the person that was in the car, at the two people that were in the car. The person that was driving drove away from the area, and as he was driving away, the person with the gun continued shooting at him. That driver of that vehicle crashed his vehicle in the parking lot of the Stewarts, and the suspect was last seen running in the direction that we're in right now. So all we have right now as a suspect is a lighter-skinned black male, handgun involved, one shooter. And again, we're canvassing the area right now. We're talking with witnesses. We have some video evidence that may be helpful for us as we continue in this investigation. And I'm confident with our investigators that we have that we'll find out who this individual is and we'll bring this individual to justice. And again, this is just another example of some senseless acts of violence that erupt over some seemingly nonsensical type issues. An inability or an unwillingness to resolve conflicts in a peaceful manner. You know, and it just spirals out of control. It's terribly frustrating for everyone. It's frustrating for the community. It puts community members at risk when these conflicts aren't resolved in peaceful manners. And we've been imploring the community for a long time, you know, over the last 4 or 5 years, about the you know, how important it is to resolve these issues and to have the appropriate conflict resolution skills when these things happen. And so with that, I have our common council member who represents this area, Sandra Fredericks, and she's going to say a few words as well.
Thank you, Chief. Common Councilwoman Sonia Frederick for the First Ward here in this neighborhood. What I'm here to say is that this act of violence that occurred right in our beautiful neighborhood in broad daylight during rush hour, in particular, a heavily trafficked area, is completely senseless. There's not enough words to describe how devastating and just unacceptable this behavior is. I stand by our police force. I am hopeful that we find the perpetrator as soon as possible and bring swift justice. And I give my heart out to the family of the victim and the individual that was part of the car as well. And I really hope that justice is found and that our neighborhood goes back to being safe. Thank you.
Chief, it isn't clear to me if the people knew each other, the shooter and the victim here.
And we don't know that yet. What we do know is that there was some sort of interaction. And it was clear that there was some sort of disagreement between the perpetrator of this crime and the victims that were in this vehicle. Again, some sort of argument, disagreement that just spiraled out of control. It's just totally senseless, and it's putting our community at risk when these sort of conflicts can't be resolved in a more peaceful manner. But we don't know exactly what the relationship is between them.
What we see behind you is a car with the back window shot out over here and another car that wound up in the landscaping on the There's a guy with a gun loose in
Oh,
Albany.
100%. You know, I mean, if somebody, you know, shoots somebody and kills somebody in our city, then we're 100%. You know, we're looking for this person. We're actively out there trying to find out who this person is, and as soon as we get more information that we can get out to the public about this individual, then we will. Officers are working hard. You know, we had officers that were in the general vicinity right around the time that this incident happened. We've got officers that are working a number of our hotspots in our city, you know, on a daily basis, but we're dealing with some behavioral type issues. We're dealing with individuals who simply cannot resolve conflicts in a peaceful way. And when you add to that this proliferation of handguns that we have on the streets, and it makes these disagreements just that much more lethal. You know, there was a time, you know, not in the recent past, you know, we're talking 5 or 6 years ago, maybe, when you would have a disagreement like this without this proliferation of weapons in the street, and it wouldn't escalate to something that was so lethal. But now we're seeing so many of these guns on the streets. They're readily available to these individuals, and when they're having these disagreements, a lot of these individuals are using these guns. We had a record year of handguns, illegally possessed handguns taken off the street last year, and we're ahead of that pace this year, almost double where we were last year. So we're taking so many of these weapons off the streets. Our gun arrests of individuals are up more than they were last year. But we just the behavioral aspect of this is just so frustrating, because some of these individuals are simply not resolving these conflicts in a peaceful way, and they're resorting to extreme violence for seemingly innocuous type disagreements. And it's terribly frustrating to us, to the community. We're going to keep working to take these individuals off the street. We're going to identify them. Our clearance rate for violent crimes in this city are higher than most, and that's why I'm very, very confident in the abilities of our detectives to find out who this person is and bring this person to justice. But like the councilwoman said, our hearts are our sympathies and go out to, and condolences go out to the family of this person that was subjected to this brutal crime. And we're going to work hard to find out who this is and take them into custody.
Was the victim deceased? Was it the passenger that told you that it was a dispute between the shooter and the victim?
I'm not sure I'm not sure if that came from. I'm not sure who provided that information. This is something that was provided to me by our detectives.
What time was this?
It was at 5:07 p.m. is when the call came in today.
Is Delaware Avenue considered a criminal hotspot here?
You know, we don't see much activity in this area. Now, in this particular area. Now, we had officers that, you know, were back and forth from what I talking with some residents just before, you know, the press conference here. And what I was hearing is that they saw police cars, you know, in the area not too long before the shooting happened. And so I don't think it's so much an issue of police presence. This is an issue of behavioral issues. You know, we've got to address the behavioral issues of some of our individuals in our community who just are not resolving these incidents in a peaceful way. And when they aren't, we've got to make sure we hold them accountable. And our detectives are committed to that. And we want to bring justice to this family.
Exactly how many shots were fired?
13 rounds, 13 shell cases is what we found.
From one gun?
Thank you.
Yeah.
From one gun?
I don't know. I know 13 shell cases. For what I understand, it was just one weapon, though.
Do you know how many people could have been in the crossfire?
Don't know. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Yep, take care. Hello, you.
How are you?
I'm fine, there you go.